Yo, what's up, guys? It's Corpse Class here. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been some time since I posted. I was super busy. School was insane. I've never been this busy in my entire life. I had a Principles of Democracy project, which sucked, but I got it done, and I got a good story for you guys. So let's jump into it. So this started last year in June or May, one of those months. And around this time, I got back into skateboarding because I skateboarded as a kid. I sucked at it. My feet were always in this like upside down T kind of position. And it would always make me just drift to the right because I ride regular. I don't ride goofy. I'm a regular skater. And I would smash into a wall or I'd just kind of jump off my board because I kept on turning to the damn right and I just didn't know why. But it's because I didn't turn my foot, and now I turn my foot so I can actually carve and turn and kind of go up over speed bumps, that kind of thing. But that's besides the point. But skateboarding is involved in this story. So I'm staying at my grandma's house because this is what she lets me do, and I'm staying there. I'm chilling, having a good time playing Xbox, and I'm bored. I'm gonna see if I can get a friend to come over and we can chill. So I call up one of my friends who we'll call Steve. And I call Steve and I was like, yo, man, I want to come over. I'm at my grandma's house, just chilling. She's not home. She's going to be out of town for like a week. I'm here. I'm getting paid. We can go get food. We can chill. We can play Xbox, just chill. And he was down. He was like, yeah, man, I'm down for sure. Just slide me the address. I'll be over. And I was like, all right, I got you. So I sent him the address. He showed up. We played video games for like maybe 2 hours. We ate some food. And we were kind of both like really thirsty. And I had sodas in the fridge. They were Mountain Dews because I like Mountain Dew, but he did not like Mountain Dew. So we kind of were like, let's just go to the gas station that's down the street from my grandma's. It's not too far. You just kind of walk out of the house. You take a left. You walk like, I don't know, like not even that far, dude. And you just take another right and you just go straight all the way up. And boom, you're there within at least 15 minutes. So we were both down. I was like, all right, we'll walk. And he's like, walk, you have your car, dude. Let's just take your car. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I have my skateboard. Like, I'm into skateboarding. Like, I want to skate over there. And he's like, all right, I'm down for that. Like, got anything I can ride? And I didn't really have anything. So he kind of just had to walk as I skated. And it was kind of annoying to me because I would skate far up and then I'd turn around and notice how far away he was. So I'd have to stop, pick up my board, wait for him to catch up, and then just keep going. It was so annoying. We finally got there. We got to the gas station. We walk in. We're looking around. I'm kind of looking around, and I'm like, I'm gonna grab some energy drinks. I'll grab 2 energy drinks. I think he maybe grabbed an energy drink and like a Coke or something. So we got our drinks, and he's looking for snacks. And I'm like, we got snacks at my grandma's house, dude. Like, we don't need any of this stuff here. He looks at me. He's like, well, does your grandma have gummy bears? And he pulls a bag of gummy bears off of the rack, and he shows them to me. And I was like, no, she doesn't. Okay, I made the grocery list. I didn't put gummy bears on the list. And he's like, exactly. We're getting gummy bears. And I was like, okay, man, go for it. So he grabs a bag of gummy bears. He's holding just regular size. It's not too big. And he's staring at it. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, why are you looking at the gummy bears? Like, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to run away from you? We got to go. We got our drinks. Let's go back to my grandma's and chill. And he's like, you're right, but I don't want that size. I was like, how do you mean you don't want that size? And I see him look up, and on the top of the shelf, there's this big ass bag of gummy bears. And he's like, I want that one. And he puts the little bag, like the serving size bag. He hangs it back up on the rack thing, and he grabs the big ass bag of gummy bears. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we're walking over to the register, and he's like, give me a minute, like, give me a second. Like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna pay for my food. Or no, did I say food? I'm so sorry, guys. I meant energy drinks. So I put down my energy drinks, and I paid for them. It was like $10. I paid for them. I put one in my pocket, and I cracked the other one open, and I'm drinking it. And I'm standing by the entrance of the gas station, but I'm on the inside. So I'm like by the door, kind of waiting, still inside the gas station, waiting for him to get out of the bathroom, pay for his stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm on my phone, and it's starting to hit me. What if this dude is stealing? What if he's just, stuffing all this stuff in his pocket? Like, he's got 2 drinks and a big ass bag of gummy bears. No way. And I was like, he probably isn't going to do that. He got that big ass bag of gummy bears. Like, why would he do that? And I see him walk out. and the gummy bears are nowhere to be found. I see him holding the 2 drinks, no gummy bears. And that's how I know it is. This dumbass stuck the gummy bears, like, kind of in his pants halfway, like, in front of his stomach, and he's using his belt to strap them in, so they're pressed up against his stomach, and they're not moving. And I'm like, you're such an idiot, what are you doing? And I look at him with, like, a look of, like, dude, don't do this. And he smiles at me, and he, like, raises his eyebrows, you know, like, he's raising them, he raised them, like, twice. And he goes up to the counter, he puts his drinks down, and the guy scans him, he pays for the drinks, and as he turns around to put his wallet back in his pocket, he accidentally moves up his shirt, so now the gummy bears are, like, exposed for, like, a solid, 2 seconds, and he's like, oh shoot, and he pulls the shirt down, and that's when the clerk, the cashier, he says, gotta pay for that, dude. And my friend, being the idiot that he is, he's like, pay for what? I don't got nothing. I just paid. I paid for my 2 drinks. And he's like, you gotta pay for the thing that's stuffed in your pants. And he's like, what are you talking about? I got nothing that's stuffed in your pants. And the cashier, the clerk, he walks around the desk and he starts to walk up to my friend. And my friend turns to me and he just points at the door. And I kind of raise my hands and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I see him run toward me. And I'm like, oh shoot. So I open up the door and I run out. And he's running out. I throw my board down, I hop on, and then he's full sprinting. Like, he's running real fast. And I see the store clerk, he's, like, turned the corner, and he's chasing us. And my friend takes the gummy bears out of his pocket. He turns around, and he waves them up in the air as to show, like, hey, get dunked on. I got gummy bears, fat boy. Like, I don't know. And right as I see him do that, I turn around, and I see a police officer driving toward us. And immediately the police officer already knew what was going on. He flicked on his lights. He sees my friend holding the gummy bears facing like the direction of the clerk. And the clerk is kind of yelling at him. So the police officer already figured out. And my friend turned back around to face me because I'm facing the police officer. And he's like, oh no. I just see like the big old smile on his face just drop. And I can see it. Like his heart probably dropped. And I was like, he's so freaking... He's like, he's cooked, dude. And I pop my board up, and I walk over to the side, and the police officer, he, like, pulls his car around to kind of block the entire road. And he pulls his car, and he steps out, and he said, drop the gummy bears. I literally heard him say, he said, drop the gummy bears and put your hands up. He dropped the bag, and he put up his hands. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, dude. And that's when my friend, kind of like, he turns around. The police officer says to walk toward the car, because I guess he's arresting him. He doesn't even know the age. But I guess he's arresting him. And as my friend, like, puts the gummy bears down and he puts his hands up, he's walking toward the police car. And I see him do, like, a kind of like a psych. And he throws his hands down. He turns, he grabs the gummy bears, and he dips. He runs toward me. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I'm chasing after him, trying to get him to stop. Because he can probably just not even get arrested. He can probably just be like, my bad. I'll put the gummy bears back. I'll be on my way. But no, this dumbass proceeds to run with the gummy bears. And I look at the cop, and he looks at me. And he's just kind of looking at me like, you better go get your damn friend before I run his ass over. Like, and I go, and I start chasing my friend. I throw my board down, and I'm skating up to him. And I'm, like, right next to him. And I'm like, dude, turn around. You're not going to get in trouble. He's like, hell no. I ain't going to pay for the gummy bears. I'm going to eat them for free. And he starts to speed up a little bit. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? So I'm chasing after him. I turn around and I see the cop trying to like take his car out of the street. His car's in the street and it's at an angle. It's not facing like how you would normally drive. It's at an angle when cops do that to kind of block traffic. That's what he was doing. And he's over here struggling to move his car out. And my friend's just getting faster. And I see him turn the corner to my grandma's house. And I'm like, no way. And I keep chasing after him. I'm going, and this time I'm not even on my skateboard anymore. I'm holding it, and I'm running after his ass, trying to get him to turn around, take the gummy bears back, because I don't think they're gonna I'm just hoping that that clerk doesn't charge him with theft. And he turns the corner, and I turn around, I see like the cop he moves his car, he puts in the driver, and he kind of drives forward, and we turn the corner. And this dude runs up to the front door of my grandma's house, and he's like, unlock the door. And I'm like, I'm not unlocking the door. And he said, damn it, man, unlock the door. And I see him turn, and he runs over to the fence, like that's by my grandpa's trailer, and he hops the fence. He hops the fence into the backyard, and I see him, like, I'm kind of looking over the fence, and I see him run over into, like, the back, all the way into the backyard, and he's, like, really far back in there, and he's kind of, like, around the corner, like, next to a wall. So if you were to look in the backyard, you couldn't see him because he was against that wall. And I was just like, this dude. So I unlock the door, and I run in the house, I shut it, I slam it, I lock it. And I'm looking through the peephole, and I see the cop just kind of drive by, and he drives by, and he kind of just lost us. So I walk to the back door of the backyard, I open it, and I was like, you're stupid. And he's like, I may be stupid, but I got some free gummy bears. And I'm like, dude, you just ruined the whole damn mood. We're supposed to go to the gas station, grab some drinks, walk back, have a good time, play some video games, but your ass decided to steal gummy bears. Like, come on, dude. And he's over here like, nah, man, like, I'm good, dude. Like, I got my gummy bears. Like, I won't do that again. I just wanted a free bag. It would make me feel nice if I got it for free. And I was like, got it for free? You stole it. And he's like, that's the point. For free. And I was like, you're stupid. And we're sitting on the couch. We're just playing video games. And that's not the end of the story. And, maybe like 3 hours go by. I don't know where that cop went. I guarantee he lost us. My friend didn't even eat the gummy bears yet. They're on the damn counter. So they're on the counter. We're sitting in the living room. We get a knock on the front door. And I'm like, I'll go get that. And he's like, all right, cool. He's sitting there on the couch still playing his games. I opened the door, and guess who it was? It was the police officer. And he's like, oh, there you are. And I was like, what happened? And he's like, well, I've been looking through the whole neighborhood trying to find that damn kid who stole that candy. And you're his friend, aren't you? And I was like, yep, that's me. And he's like, great, is he here? And I kind of like leaned back a little, and I turned to the living room, and I kind of looked back at the cop, and I was like, yeah, he's here. And he's like, good, bring him over here. And I was like, okay. So I walk over to the living room, I turn the corner, and I'm like, yo, someone's here to see you. And he's like, here to see me? Is it my mom? And I was like, probably. Kind of lied to him. And he gets up from the couch, and he walks over, like, around the corner to the front door, and I see him turn the corner, and he just kind of stops, like what he's doing, he freezes, and I see him kind of turn his head like he's gonna run, and I'm like, hell nah, go, and I grab his shirt, and I kind of push him, and I walk him outside, me and the cop, and my friend, we're all outside, and the cop is scolding him, he's talking to him, and he's like, listen, man, you got that bag of gummy bears, did you open it? And he's like, no, I didn't open it, and he's like, good, bring it to me and you are both going back to that store, and we're gonna return it. And I was like, no way. So my friend, he goes over, he grabs the bag, he gave it to the officer, and he's like, good, let's go. And I look, and I'm like, I'm just kind of in like shock, and the cop turns to me, and he's like, stay there. He'll be back in like 5 minutes. I was like, all right. So I shut the door, and I'm waiting in there, and I just kind of just start laughing. And I'm like, no way my friend is getting his ass took all the way back to the gas station to give the gummy bears back instead of getting arrested. So maybe like 5-10 minutes go by, and I get a knock at the door, and I'm like, oh, he's back finally. And I open up the front door, and there's the officer, and he's holding my friend's hands behind his back, and I'm just looking at him like, don't. I looked at my friend, I looked at the cop, and I was like, are you taking him? Is he arrested? And he's like, no, I put him in the cuffs so his ass wouldn't run off. And I was like, oh, all right. So he takes the cuffs off of my friend. He lets him go inside. And I kind of told the officer, like, I apologized to the officer. I told him, like, I'm sorry. Like, you didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean for him to do that. I should have stopped him. I was trying to catch up to him, but I couldn't get him. I was already here. I thought you would have lost him. Like, that was it. And he's like, I understand that completely. Just make sure your friend doesn't steal from stores anymore. I was like, all right. Will do, officer, thanks. And the guy shuts the door, and I lock it. He shut it. I don't even know he shut it. I was supposed to shut it, but he locked it, or I locked it. My fault. I locked the door, and I turned the corner, and I walked to my friend, and I'm like, well, how did that go? And he told me, he was like, actually, it wasn't that bad. He took me to the store. We walked in. He made me go up to the clerk. Clerk was still there, by the way. I thought he would have left. He made me go up to the clerk, apologize, give the bag back. The clerk was actually really cool. The clerk was like, it's all good, man. Just don't steal from here again, and I'm going to have to ban you from this gas station. And I kind of got banned from that gas station. That's what he told me. And I was like, well, that sucks. He's like, yeah, I know. But at least it was that gas station, not any other ones. And I was like, well, hopefully not. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, knowing you, you wouldn't pay attention, so I can't really tell you if you were banned from every single gas station in the city or not. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, that's kind of it. And he was like, yeah, you're right. So we sit back down, play Xbox, go on with the rest of the night, and nothing happens. And that's kind of it. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will try to post again when I can. This was the only time that I was actually free. So I do hope you guys enjoyed that story, and see y'all later. Peace.